All right, guys, welcome to the call. So excited to have every single one of you guys on the call here today. Just super fired up for every single one of you guys to be on the call here today. I see some of you guys are driving, guys. Make sure you drive safe. Just super pleasure and honor to be on the call with every single one of you guys. If you don't see some people that have partnered up today on this call, make sure you shoot them a quick text and say, hey, listen, get on this training call because information you're going to learn here tonight is very valuable. So I'm just excited to share with you exactly what needs to be done. First, I want to congratulate all the new business partners that decided to partner up with us today. So give yourself a round of applause if you decided to partner up with us today. Let's all welcome, Rockstar Nation, let's all welcome all the new business partners that decided to partner up with us today. That's going to be a great journey for every single one of them. So I'm going to get myself out of it. My name is Harsh. I'm a regional vice president of the company. You'll get to hear me in a little bit, but we're going to dive right into training. Make sure you guys get trained properly. And I'm going to bring up a gentleman that is having a lot of success. He's on his regional director run. He's an executive team leader with the company, but he's absolutely having tremendous amount of success and just doing some amazing things out of the state of New York. And if you guys are on the East Coast, guys, I want to honestly say from the bottom of my heart, I hope you and your family are safe. I know you guys just got hit with a crazy hurricane and tornadoes and whatnot up there. So make sure I just want to pray for your families and hope you guys are really safe. You guys have electricity, food, water, all the necessities for you and your families. I just want to say that pretty much in front of everybody just because I'm from Jersey and my family's from Jersey. So I know some of my friends and family are not doing so well, but I just want to pray for everybody on the call here today. And hopefully you guys are doing well and hopefully your families are doing good. But I'm going to introduce somebody as an executive team leader in the company who's having a lot of success in this business. And he's going to teach you exactly how to acquire lots of customers through this opportunity. That's none other than top producing executive team leader, Mr. Jovan Dudley. Jovan, you on the line?
Yes, I am, Harsh. Thank you so much for having me on the call. I really appreciate it. Hey, guys, I'm so excited and fired to be here. Like I said, Harsh said a lot of good things about me, but really, guys, I'm nobody special. I work for a large telecommunications company. I've been doing that for about 7 years. But when I took a look at this business a short period of time ago, I realized that I can get paid the same way they get paid, meaning every single month these customers pay their bills, I can get paid the same exact way. So once I saw that, that totally opened my eyes. And, I'm very excited to join and be a part of the success. It wouldn't be possible but without the training and support that I got right here at ACN and right now with what I'm about to show you. So if you guys have pen and paper, make sure you grab a pen and paper. Make sure you take a lot of notes, take screenshots. We're going to be diving into customer acquisition training right now, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen really quickly. And the goal of today, guys, is to start getting you paid right away. We want to start making money right away as soon as you get started. So let's take some notes here and we're going to dive right in, right? So the first thing you want to do is get customer qualified. Meaning you're going to get a handful of services, and that's called CQ. Right now, if you write down anything, write down CQ, customer qualified. Now, as soon as that happens, the next presenter is going to show you how to have a meeting, have a PVZ, and get 2 people also customer qualified, just like you, which is just a handful of services, right? So now you're going to get customer qualified. We're going to get 2 people in your business to also get customer qualified, right? Now, what is customer qualified? Very simple. It's just 3 services, 7 points. Or, this is exciting, guys. They didn't have this before. Now they've introduced 2 services and 12 points. So now there's 2 different ways for you to get not only your first bonus check of $75, get you paid right away, but now you're customer qualified, meaning you're eligible to collect residual income. And now the sky's the limit, guys. So the first thing you want to do, get paid immediately, get your first $75 bonus, and then get customer qualified within your first 30 days. We call it the 48-hour goal. So we can get that knocked down in the first 48 hours of your business, guys. Now, what you want to do is you want to think like a business owner here, right? So is anybody here a business owner? Anybody here owned a business before? Anything like that? There's some hands jumping up in the room because we all think alike, right? If you're a business owner, you want to train yourself first, right? If you're owning a Ferrari dealership, you don't train yourself on Lamborghinis, right? You learn about your Ferraris and you own a Ferrari, right? You want to be a part of your own business. So the first thing I did to train myself was I became a customer of my own services, especially the fact that all these services were bills I was paying already. Internet, TV, cell phone, security. You would agree. We have a number of these services in our own home already. So it was just very easy for me to get started, acquire my own services, and train myself because it was more professional that way to me. When I would go to somebody and talk to them about my services, the first thing they ask me is, oh, well, do you have it as well? And I'd say, yes, I do. Now how would it look if, I was talking to somebody about, one of our services and I didn't have it myself? Would that make me look professional or unprofessional, right? So the first thing you want to do is you want to be professional. Train yourself and build your belief. Like I have Vivint Home Security on my own smartphone. Like today, you know, as Harsh mentioned, you know, I hope everybody's doing okay in the Northeast. We got hit with a really bad hurricane, but because of the services that I have through my own company, I was able to let my mother-in-law in my house this morning because she had no power. So if it wasn't for this service that I had, that I believed in for my own business, I wouldn't have been able to do that. I was able to let her in, unlock the door, and lock it when she left, and I wasn't even home. And that's true belief in my own service. I love these services. But most importantly, guys, build your belief, train yourself, and get paid on your own services. I mean, who wouldn't want to get paid on bills you're paying anyway? These are all bills that are going to come to you regardless. Now you get paid on them every single month. You want to have the tools necessary for success, and you want to have your own services. So get a couple services, get customer qualified right away. Now what's going to happen is you also get paid bonuses every single month. These are not just one time only. These are reoccurring bonuses every single month. Now, guys, as we mentioned, 3 services and 7 points is going to get you your first $75 check, or 2 services and 12 points. But now, if you're ambitious, let's say you get 5 services and 10 points in that month, you get $200. 8 services, 16 points, $400. 11 services and 22 points, $600. And then another $200 every 3 and 6 points after that. I mean, guys, this happens every single month. I mean, just for acquiring services that you already have in your own home, and everybody we know are paying these bills already. Guys, in my first 2 weeks, I made $700, and we're gonna explain how that happened. But we want to get you paid right away, get your first check, and we're gonna go over the point system in just a little bit now. So what I'm gonna do, but I want to reiterate to you guys, the 48-hour goal is very simple. Get customer qualified. The next presenter is gonna teach us how to have a home meeting. And then that's it. You're on to leadership training, which is Friday. And this training you don't want to miss. On Fridays, we have an amazing training hosted by some of the top leaders in the entire company, where we really pull back the curtain and we really show you guys how to build a team, you know, what the mindset is that you need to have, and how to get better and better and grow your business. And most importantly, of course, you're going to get your first check. So let's knock out the customer qualification, have a home meeting in your first 48 hours. Now, guys, pay attention to this slide. This slide right here, if you have a phone or a tablet, take a screenshot of this slide right here. This is going to show you guys all the points and all the services we have. I mean, as you can see, we just have a buffet of services. I mean, they're ranging from ID theft protection, which is 2 and 4 and 8 points each. So now we have a monthly plan, which is going to give you 2 points, a quarterly plan for 4 points, and an annual plan for 8 points. These are 2, 4, and 8 points towards your qualification. Now, the reason they're green is because those are bonuses. Those are new. We didn't have this before. So I don't know if this is going to be around another month. So guys, if you want to take advantage of this right away, I would highly suggest it. You get 4 points towards your qualification at quarterly, 8 points towards it at annual. Then we have electricity and gas, which is 1 to 2 points. We have wireless service through companies like Flash, which is Verizon and Sprint, also AT&T, giving you 1 to 10 points. We have payment processing for businesses, for consumers and businesses. Then we have Vivid Home Security for 8 points, guys. 8 points towards your qualification. Remember, you only need 7 or 10. 3 services and 7 points, and 2 services and 12 points. That's it. So these are all the points here. You also have internet service too, which is through AT&T Uverse, Frontier, and Spectrum, 1 to 2 points. And then we have television, which is 2 to 5 points through Dish, DirecTV, Frontier, and Spectrum. Just to give you guys an example, right? 10 points and 5 services. This is an example right here where you get 16 points. You get home security, which is 8, ID theft protection, you know, you or your spouse or your kids as well, 4 points, ID theft protection, another 2 points, gas and electricity, 1 point each. You're at 16 points already. Congratulations. You got customer qualified, and now you got your first bonus. Instead of $75, you now get $200 at that rate. Now we're going to go over the 3 most lucrative and simple services to get, guys. We're going to talk about first we're going to talk about is electricity and gas. Now these are available in 19 states in the United States that are deregulated, as you can see right here at the top. And now this is a very simple, easy service to get. Guys, I love this service. 1, it was free. First of all, it's free. And not only is it free, but you're able to get a $25 gift card per customer. Guys, I'm in New York, so we're deregulated for gas and electricity. So I signed up my gas and my electricity. I got 2 points. And I also was able to get $50 in a gift card. That's a promotion that we're running right now, guys. So now the best part about that is not only that it's free, but it's very simple and easy to get. And guess what? The people that are your utility company are still going to send you a bill. You're still going to have the same people that are going to come there for emergencies. Nothing changes. It's just that now you're at a fixed rate, which is amazing. So now you don't have to worry about your bills going up and down. This is the best service. I agree. I would assume right here. The next service is Vivid Home Security. I love this service. It's just, as I just mentioned, I mean, I was able to let my mother-in-law in the house today without even being home. You know, my doors were locked when I left it, but when she needed to go in the house, I unlocked it from my smartphone. To get Vivint, you get 8 points. And to get Vivint, you dial this number right here. Take a screenshot, write this number down. You're going to call a Vivint sales rep and give them your ACN IBO number that you just got when you signed up. Now, once you give them the IBO number, they're going to walk you through how to get Vivint home security. They're going to actually qualifying questions. They're going to send a technician to your house. That's it. And it's a done deal. And the best part about that, guys, is they're going to do the same thing for you whenever you want to recommend Vivint home security to your customers. You know, you just give them the phone number and you pass the phone off to the customer and Vivint does the rest. You don't have to be an expert at Vivint. You know, they're the experts. Let them be the experts. And this is 8 points towards your qualification, guys. This is one of the best services. Now, the third most important and lucrative service is ID theft protection. Guys, we're on a computer right now more than ever. I mean, if you think about it, everyone's on Zoom now. I mean, we already live in a digital society. So we have smartphones, we have emails, everything is online now. And now more than ever, we're exposed. So now you want to get ID theft protection as soon as possible. I mean, just look at last year alone. There were 3,800 data breaches exposing 1.4 billion records. I mean, guys, just not too long ago, our own credit bureau, Equifax, was breached. I mean, they didn't send me a letter in the mail saying I was breached. I had to go online to find out that my information had been compromised. And right away, I got ID theft protection. So now for less than $1 a day, you get over $1 million in asset protection at a $0 deductible. We're going to talk about that the next slide. But I mean, experts say in 2023, there's going to be $6 trillion worth of victims to identity theft. I mean, and consumers are going to have to spend a $1 trillion in identity theft protection alone. I mean, half the children under the age of 18 already have their identity stolen. And that's why, because parents are not checking their social security numbers until they're 18. So, you know, kids are turning out to 18 years old knowing that they can't even get a credit card because they have a house in their name somewhere or a car that's in their name. And that's obviously very terrible. Now you have to go through years and years to fix that. But you can fix it with just ID theft protection. Just have that in the beginning and you'll be good to go. Now there's 3 different ways you can get ID theft protection. The first way is going to get you 2 points towards your qualification, which is the monthly plan, $28.99 a month. We also have a quarterly plan for $79.99 a month. And we also have a yearly plan, which this is huge, guys. 8 points. Look, write this down. 8 points towards your qualification. And then guess what? You're going to get 2 months for free. So at $289 for the entire year you're covered, you get 12 months of ID theft protection for the cost of 10. So 2 months are free. And you get 8 points towards your qualification, guys. I mean, this right here is a no-brainer. I like to save money. I don't know about you guys, but this is a no-brainer for me. I'm going to need ID theft protection, not 1 month, not for 4 months. I'm going to need ID theft protection for the entire year, right? So it makes sense to just get ID theft protection right away for the whole year, save myself 2 months, and also get 8 points. And now the best part about that, guys, is that you can not only protect you, but you can also protect yourself and up to 10 children. Now, I'm not saying you have to have 10 children, but you can choose you and 10 children. So whether that's, you know, your son, your daughter, your nephew, your cousin, anybody under the age of 18 can be a part of that plan as well. These are packages plans as well. Monthly plans start at $34.99 for 2 points, $95.99 for the quarterly plan, and $34.99 for the yearly plan. Once again, saving you 2 months, guys. So now, but the most important thing is you want to create your story. Guys, when I first started the business, I was able to make $700 in my first 2 weeks. Do you know how empowering that was? I mean, I had people tell me, what is this thing you started with? What did you get into? I mean, did you even make any money yet? And guess what I said? Yeah, I did. Well, how much did you make? I made $700 in my first 2 weeks. Doing what? Wow. How? Doing part-time? Like, how'd you do it? So these are the questions that I was getting, guys. But now you want to be armed with facts. You don't want to sit there and say, well, I'm working on it, or I got to do something, or I didn't get paid yet. No, you want to say, I got paid. I got such and such. So guys, get qualified right away. Get qualified starting tonight. You know, the person that invited you, the person that sponsored you is going to do everything they can to help you get qualified and walk you through all the steps necessary. But you just need a total of, 5 services and 10 points to get your investment right back. You spent $199 to get into the business. You're going to get $200 right back once you get 5 services and 10 points. And then for each IBO that's sponsored underneath you, you get paid $50. So there's a bonus on the table right now where if you get your first 5 services and 10 points, you're going to get $200. Now, when you go ahead and get four business partners in your organization, you get paid $50 for each of those individuals. That's another $200. So now we're at $400. And then a total team points of 30 points in your team. You're going to get another $300, guys. That's $700 in your first 30 days. You guys can do it like me. Do it in your first 2 weeks, knock it right at the park, and then now you're on the way to residual income, guys. But now the most important thing about this organization is that you can build a team, guys. I mean, that's really how you create wealth. And now the next person that's gonna come up now and speak is none other than a top regional vice president in the entire company. Out of 500,000 reps in the entire company, this guy's the #1 regional vice president. He's on his way to be senior vice president very soon. And that's none other than Mr. Harsh Patel. Harsh, I'm going to throw it to you.
Hey, Jovan, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, guys. Awesome, guys. Didn't Jovan do a phenomenal job going over customer acquisition? How many of you guys can think it was his first time teaching this? Like, how many of you guys would guess that it was his first time? I know I would. I think he did a phenomenal job for his first time being on the call. He just taught you exactly how to get customers. He taught you exactly what to do. You know, he's going to regional director here very, very shortly. He's about 30 days, 45 days tops away from hitting the position of regional director, which is really, really exciting. So I'm excited for him, Jovan, and, you know, his energy and what he's bringing to the table. And obviously, as you can tell, he's a master of getting people qualified. Could we agree? He knows his stuff. And that's why he's had a lot of success and why he's made, you know, first 2 weeks. I just got a lot out of it. One thing I heard from him is his first 2 weeks, he made $700. How many of you guys want to make $700 your first 2 weeks? Meaning, because you guys pretty impactful. Like, that's something that you can do and you can share with. So, Jovan, I appreciate you being on the call. I appreciate you training the people on the call tonight. Let me tell you something, man. I think you did a phenomenal job. So, if we could, one more time for top producing executive team leader, Mr. Jovan Dudley, guys. Let's give him a round of applause real quick. Congratulations, Jovan, on all your success and everything that's going on. Guys, I'm super excited to be with you here tonight. I'm excited for every person that decided to partner up with us. Like I said, I'm excited for all the new people on the call here today. I'm just excited for what you guys are going to learn here today. You know, Jovan went over something very, very important, getting customer qualified, and I couldn't agree more. When I got customer qualified, when I got my first paycheck, ACN became real. Meaning I was like, all right, this company works, if that makes sense. I could build something significant here. And that's one thing I want to share with you guys. Get customer qualified. Call the person that invited you out. Call the person that, you know, got you in the business, and they'll literally help you get customer qualified. It's pretty simple. We have a lady on the time. I'm going to mention her name a few times. Her name's Christina. She literally came in the business and got customer qualified within her first 24 hours and literally did that in a heartbeat. She actually got 5 services already in the short time she's been in. She's been with us for like, what, 3 days now? She already has 5 services. That's going to pretty much make her $200. And she had her very first PBZ, which I'm going to talk about here in a bit. And what I'm going to talk about here real quick is launching your business. So just like Christina, I launched my business here, and one thing I like to do is build a team. I'm very, very passionate about building a team. Does that make sense? Like, I love building teams. I love meeting new people. I love helping people. This is what I like to do. So what my topic here today is about building a team. I'm going to teach you how to create distribution. The second thing I'm going to teach you is making sure you leverage yourself. Does that make sense? How many of you guys want a business from 5 years from now, if you unplug, you still get a paycheck? How many of you guys want that type of business? Now, if you want that type of business, you got to follow a system. Does that make sense? The only way to create something like that is by following a system. You guys follow what I'm saying? And by you following a system, you can now naturally have a business 5 years from now where you can unplug because you'll have a group of people following the same exact system. Does that make sense? So let's look at McDonald's. Could you agree McDonald's is a very successful brand, but they have a system? Could we all agree to that? How many people seen the movie The Founder? Some of you guys have, some of you guys haven't. And it literally talks about them creating a system that made McDonald's so successful. Could you agree they fry the fries at the same temperature? They get the burger is not the best burger in the world. Could we agree we could make a better burger in our backyard? But why do we go to McDonald's? Plain and simple, it's because they have a system, right? And I'm gonna teach you a simple system here to make sure you create a great results. So that way, when you build a team, your team could follow that same system and it could duplicate properly. Fair enough. But I want to talk about something that's very important, which is our bonus this month, which is the August bonus. Yeah, so we have a very, very lucrative bonus. It's very, very lucrative. So that what they do is they give you 30 days from the day you partner up. So if you started today is what, August 5th, you'll get till September 5th. Does that make sense? You get 30 days from today to acquire this bonus. It's actually pretty simple. So the first thing you could do is do what Jovan told you to do, is get 5 services that equal 10 points. That gets you $200. You have to have 5 services and 10 points for this bonus to work. Does that make sense? So 5 services, 10 bonus will give you $200. And if your team goes out and gets 30 total customers, they'll give you an additional $300 for a grand total of $500. Does that make sense? But wait, before you take notes, it's actually more than that. That's what they're telling you. But let me show you how much more lucrative this is. So let me just show you this real quick. Let's say this is you. Now, I have a perfect example online here today. Her name's Christina. Everybody say hi to Christina. She's on the line. Everybody say hi to her. Christina's on the line, right? She already got 5 services already, right? So she got 5 services that were way more than 10 points. So Christina's gonna get a check for $200, right? But Christina had her first PBZ today. We literally did a PBZ for her today, where she had a handful of people on, which you'll learn about here in a second, and she got 4 business partners in her first PBZ. She had 4 different people partner up. Now, I know we have one other lady online. Her name's Amelia. Hi, Amelia. Good to see you. I told you you're going to see me tonight, but she's one of the people that signed up for Christina. Christina got 4 business partners. Now, when those 4 business partners get their handful of customers, here's what happens for Christina. Christina gets another $300 bonus. But here's what's more lucrative. You guys ready for this? Because Christina introduced them personally, for every person that gets customer qualified, she'll make an additional $50 each for each of them. So not only does she make $200, not only will she make $300, but she'll make a grand total of $700. Now, let's say those 4 people get qualified between tonight and tomorrow, for example, by tomorrow, let's say, right? Or by Saturday, if that makes sense. And in less than a week, Christina will make $700. Could you agree? That's a pretty powerful story. So she's taking advantage of this bonus. You guys see what I'm talking about? So this is very, very powerful, and this could be the same thing. It could happen for you, right? So all we got to do is get your customer qualified. We'll book a PBZ, and we'll help you get this bonus. Everybody see the power of this bonus. And it just happened for Christina today. She got 4 new business partners today. Amelia is one of them on the line. Jesse was another one. We got a bunch of them on the line here today. So good to see all the guys that I saw earlier today. It's good to see everybody on the line here today. So it's kind of awesome to see that. Now, what is a PBZ? Let's talk about a PBZ. Now, it's a home meeting. We did it over Zoom, right? Pretty much it's a Zoom meeting. You invite people to a Zoom call. You pick the date. See, Christina picked the date today. Does that make sense? She said, Harsh, I want to do a Zoom call. I believe it was at 2 o'clock. If I'm not mistaken, it was at 3. I can't remember what it was, but it was at 2 or 3. She said, Harsh, I want to do a PBZ today at 2 o'clock. She told me on Monday. She said Monday. She told me on Monday, I was like, Harsh, I want to do a PBZ on Wednesday at 2 o'clock. So I put it in my schedule for 2 o'clock because that was the best time for Christina. Does that make sense? That was the best time that worked for her. So for the people that are on the call here today, what you should do, some of you guys work with somebody, shoot them a quick text. In the next 48 hours or 72 hours, pick a time. So today's Wednesday. Let's say Saturday by the latest. Pick the best time that works for you. Shoot them a quick text and say, hey, Saturday at 2 o'clock, I would like to book a PBZ. Hey, Friday at 1 o'clock, I want to book a PBZ. Shoot us the text. Here's why. We can present for you. How many people went to a PBZ that your friend invited you to or somebody that invited you, and your friend didn't speak? It was actually a professional presenter. Yes? How many of you would like a professional presenter to speak at your meeting? So here's my suggestion to you. Get into their schedule. Does that make sense? Get into their schedule. If you get into their schedule, we can help you get business partners and help you get that bonus that we talked about. So pick the time that works best for you, not what works best for your friends and family, because I guarantee you, if you talk to 10 people, they're going to give you 10 different days and 10 different times. Could you agree? Because everybody has a different, but and I'll teach you how to invite them, and I'll teach you exactly who to invite. I don't want you to worry about that right now. I want you to pick a time that works best for you, and do me a favor, shoot the person that got you involved in the business saying, hey, I want to do a PBZ Friday at 2. Hey, I want to do a PBZ Saturday at 3. Shoot them a quick text now if you don't mind. Now, tonight, if you can, I want you to do a little bit of homework. Now, what's a homework? Make a list. Make a list of 100 names. Everybody knows some people. Could we agree? Do not prejudge. And here's what I want you to do. Put the A-listers first. What's an A-lister? A business owner. How many people not know people that own businesses? Right? Some business owners today are not doing so good. Could you agree? Because they're forced to shut down. Right? I know a restaurant owner was like, hey, man, I was making 25 grand a month. at his restaurant. Today he's barely taking home 4. Does that make sense? Like, he's hurting. Could you agree? That's a pretty big pay cut. Could you agree that because of what COVID did to him? You know what I mean? So because he could only sit people outside and all that stuff, he's partnered up with me recently. His name's Jacob, right? He's out of New York. He's like, hey man, this makes sense. I want to do this, and I showed him this business 3 years ago, but timing today is not right. Does that make sense? So he's a business owner. Timing's more right. You probably know some business owners. How many of you guys know some people that are network marketing experience? What's network marketing? We all have been to some type of other company that does maybe products. You know, for ladies, you probably know some Mary Kay reps. For some people, you guys know some Herbalife. Some people have done something like this before. Why? Because once you show them this, here's what they'll like about it. One of two things. Number one, they'll like the fact that, you know, they have experience already. Could you agree? Think about sports. What do teams do? They do what? They recruit. Could we agree? But they recruit the best players, yes or no, that can play. Right? I don't know if you guys are football fans, but, you know, Tom Brady, if you think about it, Tampa Bay recruited Tom Brady to go play for Tampa Bay, and he left the Patriots. Could you agree they went after somebody that was pretty much what we would have thought untouchable, meaning he's always going to be a Patriot, if that makes sense. But eventually, because they offered him whatever, now he's now joined another team, if that makes sense. So you can recruit people that are in the same industry. So you probably know some people in the same industry that you can show them to, and they have something to compare it to. Does that make sense? But here's what they also do. They bring their experience with them, but the second thing they bring with them is their team. So we have a perfect story. His name is Gaish Ahmed. He joined his business a while ago. He used to do he was successful with another network marketing company, came to this business in 8 months, went a position called regional vice president. Now, to you might not mean a lot, but put it this way, he put over 10,000 customers in 8 months. How many of you guys would want 10,000 customers in 8 months? Yeah, I would. And here's what happened. Because he was a network marketer, he was a professional at it. Does that make sense? So people like that. People in the real estate profession. How many of you guys know some people that are realtors, real estate brokers, mortgage lenders, right? Appraisers, title, multifamily owners, investors, pretty much anybody in the real estate world. Put them on your list. Why? Because they'll just see the value doing it. See, Christina, it was in real estate. She's in real estate. She's a real estate agent. She does a lot of transactions a year. She's a real estate professional. We did a Zoom with her. In 30 seconds, she goes, "This makes sense." You know, Amelia on the line here today. I see her. She's a brand new realtor. By the time we were done with the presentation today, Christina Zoom, she's like, "Why would I not do this? This makes too much sense not to do it, if that makes sense." It just goes hand in hand with my business, right? So people in the real estate professional just get it. And then everybody else. Does that make sense? I was in the everybody else category. I worked at a bank. Like, you know what I mean? I was not a business owner. I never did anything like this before. I never did real estate in my life. I've never done it. And I was in the everybody else category. I worked at a bank. Could you agree? But I was just hungry. How many of you guys know some hungry people? And here's what I know about hungry people. I know some hungry people. I was able to introduce the hungry people, and that eventually led me to my success. Does that make sense? Now, here's all I ask you to do. All I ask you to do is invite. Everybody say invite. I'm looking at you guys. Come on, say invite. It's okay. I know you like guys are talking to the computer. It's perfectly fine. Everybody say invite. Come on. Jeff, I see you say invite. Okay, I see you. Christina, I said you said invite. Come on, Ted. I don't see you, buddy. You better say invite. There we go. Invite. Shirley said invite. All right. Mary said invite. I see everybody saying invite. Now I want you guys to say over invite. Yeah, over invite. And here's why I want you to do. You want to over invite. And here's why. Because 50% of the people won't show. Think about airlines, guys. See, I remember taking a trip to Dubai last January. Now, could you agree? A trip from New York to Dubai is not cheap. And I flew Emirates and I flew business class. So it actually did cost a little bit of money, if that makes sense. Right? And I remember walking into my flight and, you know, kind of doing there, and I'm, you know, and they're calling out names. So-and-so, please report, you know, you're going to miss your flight. People that spent over $10,000 on flights and stuff didn't make their flight. Could you agree? Life happens. Meaning things could possibly happen. Internet can go wrong. You know, like in the Northeast, I hate to say what I'm saying, but it's, you know, the Northeast, they had a hurricane. Could you agree? They could have never predicted their electricity going away or internet going away. Could you agree with that? But that's happened in the Northeast, right? And I pray for every single one up there. You know, I have a lot of loved ones up there. I really pray for all you guys. I'm a Jersey boy. I was born and raised in Jersey, if that makes sense. So I'm praying for the Northeast, you know what I mean? But, here's what's going to be the hard fact. 50% of the people won't show to your Zoom. That's why you want to over-invite. Does that make sense? Because your Zoom will duplicate good or bad. See, if you have 10 people on your Zoom, guess what people will think, how many people you need to have on your Zoom? 10. If you only have 2 people on your Zoom, guess what people will think they need to have? 2. Now, Christina had a great Zoom. She had about 10 people on the Zoom. I think 4 of them got started. Pretty simple. So what do those 4 people see? To put at least what? 10 people on a Zoom, yes or no? So now they're going to put 10 because you agree Christina's business is going to grow by 10 versus 2. Now, what team is going to grow faster, the 10 or the 2? The 10, right? More customers are going to be acquired because there was a bigger Zoom, yes or no? Because the more reps you get, the more customers you naturally get, yes or no? So your whole goal is to over-invite and pack out your Zoom call. Fair enough? That's your whole goal, right? Now, I'm going to teach you something. You might want to take a picture of this right here. This is a script. 90% of this business is this right here. I memorized this. I got good at this right here. This is all I pretty much said over and over again 6 years ago. Again, this is 90% of the business. I would take a picture of this. I would memorize. I would record what I'm about to say, because then it could be your words, if that makes sense. Let it be your words, right? And you can be the one that's saying these words. So the first thing you want to do is a sample script. It's pretty simple. The first thing you want to do, let's say I was inviting Jovan. Me and Jovan know each other. I was inviting him to a Zoom call. It'd be pretty much simple like this. Hey, Jovan, this is Harsh. This is a biz call. Do you have a second? Jovan would be like, yeah, what's going on? I'm gonna ask him a qualifying question. Here's my question to him. Do you look at other ways of making money? That's my qualifying question. Because here's what happens. Depending on what he says here determines if I continue with the script or not. Does that make sense? If he says no, here's what I say. I appreciate you, man. I was just taking a quick survey. I got a lot more phone calls to make. I'll talk to you later. Here's not my job to go continue with the script. Does that make sense? And if he says yes, oh, what are you talking about? This is where I continue with the script. And here's what I say. Hey, Jovan, do you look at other ways of making money? Yes. Fantastic. So do I. I don't know if you know this about me, but I've been working at the bank and doing what I'm doing now. I don't see myself retiring my parents anytime soon. So I started looking, right? I ran into a company that deals with new technology energy, and I met this individual that's having massive financial success, right? His name is Billy Lithicum. He's having massive financial success, and he's expanding his essential service business in our backyard, and he's doing a Zoom Friday at 2 o'clock. Can I put you down at 10, Jamal? And if he says yes, that's an easy one. I'm going to be like, great. Have you ever used Zoom before? He's going to play, yeah, no. If the answer is no, here, let me show you how to download Zoom. And I send him a quick link to download Zoom. I just shoot him a quick text here, press the logo, download Zoom. It's pretty simple. I walk him through how to get Zoom, right? And I always say, hey, somebody from his office, Jovan, will call you and confirm because he's very, very professional, okay? Now, could you agree that was easy? What do most people usually do? Ask questions, yes? And here's what I want to share with you guys. Questions mean interest. I'm going to say it again. Questions mean interest. If they ask questions, they're interested. Does that make sense? You guys follow what I'm saying? So questions literally mean interest. So here's what I want. I'm gonna teach you how to answer every question. I'm gonna redo the script. If you want to record me, right? Pretty simple. It's exactly how it is. Hey, Jovan, this is Harsh Patel. Hey, how you doing, man? Good. I'm doing good too. Hey, this is a biz call. Do you have a quick second? Yes. Okay, great. Let me ask you a quick question. Do you look at other ways of making money? Yeah. What do you have, Harsh? Great. So do I. I don't know if you know this about me, but doing what I'm doing now, working at the bank, I don't see myself retiring my parents anytime soon. That's why I started looking. But man, I'm so excited. I met this individual that's having massive financial success. His name is Billy Lithicum. He's expanding his essential service business in our backyard, and I thought about you. And he's doing a Zoom call for a group of people that I think are very, very successful. I thought about you. He's doing a Zoom call Friday at 2 o'clock. Can I put you down to attend? Now, Javon's going to be like, well, what is it? What's the name of the company? How does it work? Can you send me some details? Can you email me something? I mean, no matter what question they ask, I want you to answer one way. And here's how it is. Pretty simple. Be new. I want you to be new. Here's what I do. I talk about the personal thing. So let's say Jovan's like, well, can you send me some details? Here's what I say. I don't have, Jovan, that's a great question. I always compliment what they say. But Jovan, that's a great question. I don't have all the details. Here's what I do know. Deals in telecom and energy. His name is Billy Lithicum, and he's having massive, and I mean massive financial success. And I got 30 minutes of his time Friday at 2 o'clock. Can I put you down to attend? Right? What's it all about? Javon's another great question. I don't have all the details. Here's what I do know. Deals in telecom and energy. Gentleman's name is Billy Lithicum, and he's having a massive financial success. And I got Friday at 2 o'clock. He's doing a Zoom call to teach us exactly what he's doing. Can I put you down to attend? Does that make sense? And if they ask me a third question, here's what I say. Jovan, you're asking me some great questions. I really don't have all the details. You know me, I work at the bank, right? But let me do one thing better. I don't know anything about telecom. I don't know anything about energy, but let me do one thing better. Let me put Billy on the phone. Now, Billy is very, very busy, but let me see if I get 15 minutes, maybe I get 5 minutes of his time where he can answer your questions, okay? And I'll do a three-way call. So let's say I'm gonna use Amelia on the line here today. Amelia says, you know what, I got some questions or whatever. I'm gonna be like, hey, Amelia, you're asking me some great questions. Hold on a second, here's Billy. And I'm gonna let Amelia ask the questions to Billy. You know why? Because people know me for me. 6 years ago, what did you know me for? Banking. Yes? If you knew me 6 years ago, you knew me as a banker, yes? I worked at a bank, that's all you knew me for. Now, would you trust me if I started talking about electricity, TV, cell phones, and all this stuff? Probably not. Can we agree to that? That's like me saying, hey, Jake, you need surgery. Jake would probably be like, Harsh, what are you talking about? Right? Because what? I'm not a what? A doctor, right? But if a doctor comes and says, you know, you need surgery, guess what Jake's going to say? Well, I might need surgery. Hey, I got this, a doctor here, his name's Jovan. Now, Jovan's not a doctor, but let's just say I tell, hey, Jake, I got this doctor here, right here. You know, he's went through med school. He's done, you know, a bunch of classes. He knows exactly what he's doing. Been a doctor for 5 years. Jake, Jovan. And if Jovan says, hey, Jake, you need surgery, Jake, would you believe that because he's a doctor? Probably, right? Why? Because you know him for what? Being a doctor. But you wouldn't trust me, right? Because I'm not a doctor. So the reason why I'm sharing that with you is because people know you for you. Does that make sense? So the people that you're going to invite know you for what you do. Some of you guys are known for real estate. Could you agree to that? Now, if you start talking about something that's not real estate related, could you agree? You're going to create skepticism, not us. And that's why we say get yourself out of the way and introduce somebody else. Does that make sense? Because they don't know you before. And some people are like, well, Harsh, you're avoiding a question. Some people feel like I'm avoiding a question or I'm avoiding to give them answers. And some people might feel that way. And I felt the same way 6 years ago. But here's what my mentor said. He goes, Harsh, two things. Number one, you answer one question, they're going to ask you a what? Another question. And they're going to ask you what? Another question. And they're going to ask you what? Another question that's going to lead to a decision based off of what they don't know you for. That's one. But number two, I'm going to give you a perfect example. Let me just say this real quick. Imagine if I told, hey, said everybody here on the call today, I said, hey, I'm having a Zoom call Friday at 12 o'clock. I got this guy teaching us how to invest in business. How many people would attend that Zoom if I showed you guys that? Some of you guys would, some of you guys wouldn't, right? If I just said that. But if I said this, Jeff's like, absolutely not. Harsh, you're not credible. Why would I come to your meeting? Like, Jeff's just nodding his head right now. But imagine I said this. Hey, I got Mark Cuban doing a Zoom call for me at 2 o'clock on Friday, teaching us how to invest in business. How many people come to that meeting? Oh, Jeff said, yeah. No, you're going to come to that meeting. Jake's nodding his head too now. Look at everybody saying yes. Now, what's the difference? The edified person. Does that make sense? The person that's edified. But what remain the same? Investing in business. Now, imagine if you ask me a question, what type of investment are you in? What type of business are you going to teach on investing? And it's Mark Cuban. What do you think I'm going to say? You know who Mark Cuban is, right? You do realize he's a billionaire. Are you really going to ask me that question? Like, could you agree I'll posture up that way? Now, how many of you guys are like, you're right, I should come to that meeting? Yes or no? So you see what I'm saying? Like, just posture up. Guys, I don't have all the details. The gentleman that's having massive financial success is going to talk about the details. It's going to be doing a Zoom Friday at 2 o'clock. I want you at 10. Does that make sense? Just posture up, right? Now, I want you guys to pay attention to this. Webinar checklist. Now, I want to say Christina did a phenomenal job today. Like, she followed this to the T. And here's why I'm saying that. She had a professional background. I'm sure people on this call here today saw that she had a professional background that attended that meeting. You know, her guests were watching her. Amelia, nod your head yes or no. Were you not watching her during that Zoom call? She's saying yes, right? We're not Christina's lights on. Christina's microphone was working. Her video was on. Could you agree? She was professional, but she was also paying attention to the speaker. There was no distractions. When she was doing that Zoom meeting, could you agree? All her focus was on that Zoom meeting. She wasn't cooking dinner. She wasn't cutting up vegetables. She wasn't taking her dog off for a walk. She wasn't in the car driving me. She wasn't doing none of that. Could we all agree that there was no distractions? She focused on what? She paid attention to the speaker. See, some of you guys on the call here today have guests on the call. I don't want to call you guys on it, but some of you guys have a guest on the call and your videos are off. Your guests are watching you. Be a professional. Pay attention to what's happening here. I strongly suggest you turn your videos on, because could you agree? Amelia, I'm going to ask another question. Just nod your head yes or no. Did you go look for Christina on the Zoom? She did you not? I know you did. Did you not see if she was like, okay, is she on the Zoom or not? Yes? And Amelia, it's her first time on this call here today. And she went to go look for the person of our job. Now, did you not feel good when her video was on and she was paying attention to this? Right? She's saying, she's nodding her head yes. And that's what I want to share with you guys. Pay attention to the speaker. Does that make sense? Your guests are watching you. You know, pay attention, take notes, right? Send a text message 15 minutes prior to the meeting to get on the Zoom. If you lead by example, your team will do the same thing. I can't stress that enough. Some of your guys' videos just went on because I said that. It's crazy. I'm going through the things and everybody's videos on. This is crazy, right? Guys, just start from the beginning. Does that make sense? Like, just start it from the beginning. Just be a good example for your team. Does that make sense? All right. Now, learn how to introduce a speaker. It's pretty simple. Learn how to do it. Do exactly what Jovan did. Jovan did a quick intro and introduced me. Could you get that was pretty simple. Just learn how to set the tone for the meeting the right way. Prepare yourself for massive success. Does that make sense? Like, literally prepare yourself for massive success, right? Now, at the end of the meeting, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna ask the questions. Are you ready to get started? Amelia, did we ask the question? Are you ready to get started at the end of the meeting? Now, she was a yes. Now, we signed her up as a business partner. Pretty simple, ain't it? We told her to come to a training. Could you agree this is working like a system? She's on the training now. She's following this system, if that makes sense. And then she's gonna do a Zoom meeting. You see what I'm saying? And now it's gonna grow that way. The next part is questions. Some people are going to ask questions. Now, the questions are going to be two types of questions. One is going to be, well, how do I become a business partner? How does that entail? Or how do I become a customer? Could you agree? Either way, those are great questions. Here's what you want to do. You want to promote the Zoom training tonight. How many of you guys got some value out of tonight's training? Meaning you guys learned a lot, right? See, that's all I did. I promoted the training tonight. And once they came to the training tonight, they saw people having a lot of success. See, Jovan has been working for AT&T for a long time. He's on a salary. You know how many customers he's probably brought to AT&T? Thousands. And he's never made residual income on it. Does that make sense? I really had to say, Jovan, you work for AT&T. How many customers do you bring him? He goes, man, probably a couple thousand a year. I said, do you get any residuals? He goes, no. I said, do I need to say any more? He goes, man, I never thought of it that way. You're right. And he got started. Does that make sense? It was a no-brainer at that point because the company he worked for didn't pay him residual, paid him a salary. And he just did some simple math, and the customers he could bring over here, what his income would be here based on those customers. You guys see where I'm coming from. So Kajika was a no-brainer at that point. And for some people, they're going to say no. No's are okay. I get no's all the time. All the time I get no's. Here's what I do to no's. I thank them. Hey, Jovan, I appreciate you saying no to me. Thank you very much. Hey, would you mind becoming my customer? See, one thing I got really, really good at is making my no's customers. Does that make sense? I made all my no's customers. My no's became customers, right? But I also asked for referrals. Hey, Jovan, I appreciate you, man. You know, hey, thanks for becoming my electric customer, become my gas customer, but do me a favor. Who were you thinking about while I was in the presentation? And I'm going to give you a great story out of a gentleman. His name is Billy Lithicum that I talked about. He was actually a referral. The lady that introduced me to him was a no. So I met this lady at a PBZ. I met her at a PBZ. She's like, this is really not for me. I said, great, not a problem. Would you mind becoming the host's customer? She said, absolutely. And I said, hey, who were you thinking about while I was doing the presentation? She goes, well, I got this guy in Waco, Texas. His name is Billy. I said, great. Can you do a 3-way call with me and him? Exactly what she did. She put me and Billy on the phone. I showed the presentation to Billy at 10:30 at night on a Friday. Now, I didn't want to do that presentation, but thank God I did. That was a referral. It was 10:30 on a Friday night. I really didn't want to do it, to be honest with you. But Billy signed up at 11 o'clock at night. I'm blowing the other girl's phone up. I probably called her 10 times in a row at 11 o'clock on a Friday night. And she's like, hey, man, is this an emergency? I'm like, yeah, there's a big emergency. Remember that guy you told me? Billy, she goes, yeah, what's going on? I'm like, well, he's signing up. I got a question for you. Do you want him underneath you? Or do you want him underneath me? She goes, well, really, right now? I'm like, yeah, he's doing it right now. Do you want to do it now or no? Yeah, I want to get in. Okay, great. The no turned into a yes. And now Billy has over 1,600 customers. Could you agree that's a great referral? Does that make sense? So never burn any bridges. You guys see what I'm saying? Now, what I want you guys to do is book a Zoom meeting, guys. It's the most important thing. 2 things are important: getting customer qualified and booking a Zoom meeting. Does that make sense? Those are 2 very important things to this business. If you can master those 2 things, you'll have a lot of success, right? So book your Zoom meeting right away. Now, the next thing I'm going to go over is mindset and events. It's pretty simple, guys. When I came to this business 6 years ago, like I said, I thought like an employee. I worked at a bank. I didn't think like a business. Could you agree? Now you own a business. You got to think a little differently, right? So here's how this business works. We're professional sorters. See, professional sort, amateur sell, and convince. How many people hate being convinced or sold to? Be honest. Right? Sorting is fun. Convincing is draining. Can we agree to that? Well, I'm going to pick on the ladies for a second. Ladies, you go to the mall. I'm talking pre-COVID. Of course, not now, but you used to go to the mall, money in your pocket, and you knew exactly what you wanted to buy, right? And a salesman would come up to you and be like, can I help you? What do you usually say? No, I'm just looking. Why? Even though they're trying to help you, because you hate being sold, yes or no? Right? I remember when I was a kid, I used to work at Foot Locker. That's where I used to work. I was a kid. I was like 16 years old. I worked at Foot Locker. People would come in. I'd be like, hey, can I help you? They'd be like, nah, I'm really good. 2 seconds later, hey, can I have a size 9 in these? Really? You just told me, you know what I mean? Like, they hate being sold to. Does that make sense? So all you do here is sort. And that's why I said you ask a sorting question. Do you look at other ways of making money? The more people you ask that question, the faster you sort through people. Does that make sense? Be a professional. Let's sort, move on. Guys, say no. Everybody say no. Jeff said no. No. Anybody hurt? Anybody need to go to the hospital? Do I need to call 911 for anybody? Guys, they're not saying no to you. They're saying no to the opportunity. Make them a customer. And remember, no is not a no forever. I actually have a book of no's. Like, people have told me no. I actually have a book. It's funny. It's right here. I always put it down. I put a book of no's, right? So people that always tell me no in my last 6 years, I always follow up with them. Does that make sense? And I just, hey, timing might not be right. Timing's probably not right. Jacob, the restaurant owner from 3 years ago, could you agree timing's right today for him? Does that make sense? Like, he partnered up now. So timing, it couldn't always be better. Some will, some won't, someone's waiting. So what next? Just keep going to the next person. Just keep going to the next person. Just keep going to the next person. Does that make sense? Right? So you'll have a lot of success that way. The next thing I want to talk about is ACM the same for everybody, guys. This ACM the same vehicle. Could you agree it's the same company? We market the same services, yes? ACM is 27 countries. I'm in 27 countries. You're in 27 countries. I market Verizon. You market Verizon. I market Spectrum. You market Spectrum. I market Zoom. You market Zoom, right? There's no difference between us, right? We market the same exact services. Yes or no? Well, what's the only difference in this equation? You, right? Invest in yourself. And what I mean by invest in yourself, read books. I love reading the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I probably read that book. I read a chapter of that book every single day. Every single day I read a chapter of that book. Why? Because I want to get better, right? I'm in a people business. Does that make sense? Right? So I always want to get better. I'm always investing in myself. I'm always listening to podcasts. I'm always listening to something that's going to make me grow as a person. See, I usually don't watch television. I call television a income distractor. Does that make sense? Television lets people be where they are in their lives. And I usually don't watch this. News, forget about it. It's all negative on there. I don't even want to come near that thing, right? News, all going to talk about negativity. See, I want to feed positivity in my brain. But here's what I love, the best analogy. I know some of you guys have been on this call for a while, but I love cars. Some of you guys know I love cars. Now, how many of you guys honestly watch TV? And that's okay. I used to watch a lot of TV. When I was a kid, my favorite show was Dragon Ball Z. I ain't gonna lie. That's where I was, right? I used to love that show. Don't get me wrong, right? But how many of you guys watch TV today? Be okay with it. It's all right. But let me ask you a question. When you guys watch TV, there's a lot of commercials. Could you agree? And some of the cars for commercials, do you see a lot of Honda commercials? Toyota, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Hyundai. Could you agree those are normal, common commercials, yes? GMC. I mean, these are natural, common commercials, yes? Right? When's the last time you saw a Bentley commercial? Or a Ferrari? Lamborghini? A Bugatti? A Koenigsegg? Never, huh? You know why? Because the people that could afford those cars aren't watching TV. They're working on themselves. Does that make sense? They're getting better at themselves. They're doing something better to get better, if that makes sense. So I'm the type of guy that likes to invest in myself. I'm the type of guy that likes to get better with people. 6 years ago, Harsh, and today, Harsh, night and day difference. Does that make sense? Here's what I want you to leave you by. 1%. If you just get better 1% every single day, by the end of the year, you'll be 365% better than you were the year before. Just get 1% better every day. That's all you gotta do. 1% every single day. Just get 1% better every single day. That's it. By the end of the year, it'll be 365% better. Right? And last but not least, here are the 4 steps to success. First thing, attend a training. Congratulations, you attended training today. Congratulations, you passed step 1. Step 2, get customer qualified. Get yourself a check. Be a Christina and get a check. Does that make sense? Be a Jovan and get a check. Host a PBZ just like Christina did, and we'll help you get 4 business partners like we did for her today. Amelia, did we not get her 4 business partners today? And were you not one of them? Isn't that crazy how this works? So if you book a PBZ, we can help you get that bonus, right? So book a PBZ. The second part is attend leadership class. We do leadership class on Friday. See, now Christina officially qualifies for Friday Night Leadership. We're actually going to promote her to customer qualified, but by probably tomorrow, she'll be an executive team leader in the business. She'll be an executive team leader less than a week. That's huge. And then last but not least, Saturday training. We do a Saturday training in the morning. It's at 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern. We do a training, goes exactly on how to do his business. So we do a super Saturday training where it goes through everything. See, guys, events build your belief, events build you, and events build your business. The reason why I'm here today is because I went to a lot of events. Does that make sense? I just worked on myself. See, these trainings are working on myself. Does that make sense? The more I came to these trainings, the more I learned this business from other people, right? The more I learn from the professionals. See, people that do these trainings at night are professionals. Last night we had the #1 senior vice president do it. Tomorrow we have 2 of the top, they call Circle of Champions members. They're Jeff and Melissa Street are doing the training tomorrow. Could you agree? Those guys are the best. They're Circle of Champions members. What that means, they're 1% of the company. They're doing something significant. You can always learn something. I always came to more of these trainings because the more I came, the more I submerged myself. The more I submerged myself, the better I got with everything here. And here's what I could tell you with. Once I was able to understand the training and train myself, it became subconscious to me on running my team. Because if you can train it, could you agree you can do it? So in the beginning, 6 years ago, I didn't want to be this guy. If you couldn't have paid me enough to talk in front of 84 people, let alone 10 people. Let's just start there. I was terrified of public speaking. Does that make sense? And I don't know if you guys were the same way, but that's where I was. So here's my suggestion to you guys. Book time with the person. I know Christina already booked her second Zoom meeting for Friday at 1 o'clock. So she's already booked the meeting, another meeting. A person on her team named is Jesse. He already booked the meeting for Friday at 2 o'clock. So that's pretty exciting. So her team is naturally going to grow, if that makes sense. Do you see she's coming out of the gate strong? She's coming out of the gate really, really fast. So when people ask her, well, what'd you make your first month? And she says, well, I made $1,000 or $1,500 or whatever that number might be by the end of the month. Could you get a powerful story? Number one. People will relate to it, yes or no. How many of you guys can relate to Christina right now? Been in the business for less than a week. Can you get a customer qualified in less than 2 days? How many of you guys can do what she did already? How many of you guys can have a PBZ? She's only been with me for 3 days, 4 days tops. She's already got customer qualified. She's already got 5 services, and she's already had a PBZ where 4 people signed up. Not that hard. Can we agree to that? Right? So I want you guys to do the same thing and have the same results. Does that make sense? I can't wait to share your success stories next week. I want to share your stories like I'm sharing Christina's, because I believe stories will impact a lot of lives. So with that, guys, I hope I served you guys well today. Hope you guys have a phenomenal night. Guys on the East Coast, again, I want to say please stay safe. I know you guys are going through some things right now, but please stay safe. Please stay strong. We can help, and if we can help in any single way possible, let us know. But appreciate all the new people that joined the training tonight. I'm looking forward to working with every single one of you and creating something massive here today. So guys, with that, have a blessed night, have a great night, have a great day, guys. Take care. So everybody, I'm going to unmute the line. Say bye to everybody. Everybody say congratulations, Christina.
Congratulations, Christina.
Congratulations, Christina.